Hey polish fans, it's Caroline again and welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. In today's video we are launching off with my first haul from the Black Friday sales for November. This first order that I got comes from Polished for Days. I forget what the discount was that they were offering. I think it was somewhere between 20 and 30% off, and they were also offering a free gift with purchase for the first 275 orders. I sadly missed the mark by a couple of hundred orders. They had a lot of orders when their sale launched, so I did miss out on that, but I did grab some polishes that I had been eyeing. They had a couple of limited edition restocks and some polishes in their normal stock that I had been eyeing. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I got. The first polish is called Raspberry Chocolate, and this one was originally released in the For the Love of Polish, and it was brought back for a limited release. This one was limited to 2 bottles per person, although I did limit myself to just the one. I was really happy to see this one release on its own because I'd missed out on this when it was originally released. I seem to quite frequently miss out on the For the Love of Polish boxes, but this one is a really unique polish that I was really happy to be able to grab. It has this really unique sort of a muted milk chocolate base, and then you have that beautiful shifting shimmer. You've got the red to green to gold. This one is super unique to my collection, so I was very happy to be able to grab it. This is it in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. This is just a super unique polish. I love the sort of murkiness that it gets from that chocolatey base, and then you have that shimmer just popping off of that unique color. This is another one that I think would be beautiful for fall, although I might have to see about putting it into my winter rack as well. It's a gorgeous color. So that first one from Polished for Days was Raspberry Chocolate. The next polish was another limited release. This was also limited to 2 per person, and this one was Rudolph. I don't remember when this was originally released, but it was one that she brought back for the Black Friday release, and it caught my attention because it's one of those glowy pink leaning reds that has a beautiful warm shift, and it's kind of hard to tell in the bottle, but you see those holographic flakies? Those actually on the nail are a bit more prominent, so it's in the same vein as, think of like the Line with the Thorn in Its Paw polishes from Bee's Knees, and I adore those polishes, and this is definitely a polish that I'm glad that I picked up, and it is pretty unique to my collection. This is it in 2 coats, and look at those flakies. Like I say in every single video, I adore those flakies. I cannot get enough of them. I could see them in every single polish and be totally happy. I love the glow to this one as well. It isn't strictly like a red on red. You've got more of like a orangey glow in that shimmer. And I think in different lighting, you're going to get more colors as you change lighting. I think you can see that sort of a pinky hue to that red as well. So that one was Polished for Days' Rudolph. Now the next one in the bottle looks fairly similar to Rudolph, or it looks like it could be fairly similar, so I did swatch them next to each other. And this one is called Spiced Cider. This one came out in the 'Tis the Season collection, and this one is more of a large shimmer particled polish in a jelly base. You have a bunch of different colors in sort of warm tones. You've got that gold and orange, and it's a bit hard to tell in the bottle, but the base is actually a squishy purple. So this is it in 2 coats. Look how glowy this is. I think even on the swatch it's kind of hard to see, but when I remove my nail, which I don't know if that's gonna bring it up anymore, but you can sort of see that purple, at least in person, in that base. So it makes for a really interesting look on the nail, which I think is one of the reasons why I like this type of red when it's in a purple base, because it's not strictly like a bright reds. And of course I can't get enough of these type of glowing shifty shimmers. So that one was Spiced Cider. The next one is a flaky polish. This one is called Andromeda, and this is a really beautiful sort of a dusty mulberry shade, and it is loaded with flakies. You've got them in sort of a medium to large size, and I think there's at least 2 different kinds. You're seeing a bright like electric green, but you're also seeing an orange and red and a bit of like indigo pop up. See that one? I'm not sure how many of those are in there, but you do get a scattering of them throughout. Oh my goodness, and look at that huge one. Wow. So here is Andromeda in 3 coats. As a flaky polish, this one did need 3 coats to reach full opacity, and longer nails might need a 4th, or just put this over a blurring base coat or a matching undie. but I really like this dusty tone. This is another one that I feel is pretty unique to my collection in this flaky formula. I love this sort of berry shade, but I don't think I have anything quite like this with these flakies. So it's another one that I might have to add to my winter rack. So that was Polished for Days Andromeda. Next up is what I think is more of like a summer shade for me, but it is another flaky polish. This one is called So Close, and this is more of a brighter, almost neon purple color. Again, full of iridescent flakies. You've got a variety of colors peeking through, from oranges, pinks, a little bit of blue there. This shifts to green. It's another very unique polish in this formula as well to my collection. I love all the different colors against this brighter shade of purple. This is So Close in 3 coats. And again, the vibrancy of this color is just amazing. I think this one is going to be very, very fun to wear. Although, like I said, this is more of a summer color for me, so we'll have to wait till next summer to wear this one, but it is really, really gorgeous. So that one was So Close. Next up is a krelly. This one is called Be You, and this is a really, really beautiful color. This is very reminiscent of that type of polish that I like, with that krelly base and crushed micro UCC flakies. This one has a variety of colors in it. You've got everything from the orange to red to green to purples and different shades of green like a teal. There are so many different colors in here. This one I think is going to be beautiful in the spring, but I think you could also wear this in the winter. Look, it's got some larger flakies in there as well. So here's that one in 2 coats. Again, I love the way that these type of polishes look on the nail. You get that sort of a scattering of the flakies across the nail. In that smaller size, they end up looking like crushed petals on the nail, which is why I think of them often for a spring polish, but just so, so cute. And in other colors, they are perfect for fall as well, when you've got more of the crushed leaves colors going on in the flakies. So that one was Be You. The next one is a shimmer polish. This is called Once Upon a Dream, and this one came out in the Once Upon a Dream collection, which I believe was based on Disney. And this is one of those polishes that I had talked myself out of initially because I figured I probably had something at least close, and that does remain to be seen. I will have to do some comparisons of my blue shimmers. It is on my very long list of polishes that I need to compare, but this one does have some other components in it that I thought were unique, and I also kept seeing polish swatches of this on Facebook, and they always drew my attention, so I wanted to see this one in person, especially since she was having a sale. So this one is a really beautiful shade of dusty blue. You have a load of those holographic flakies in here rather densely, plus you have that really beautiful shifting shimmer. You've got pink to green to gold. I think you can see all of those colors really nicely against that base. And here's this one in 2 coats. This one I think does vary quite a lot to the other colors that I have, because most of the other polishes that I have in this color family are more on the sheer shimmer type polishes. So this one I think is still pretty unique to my collection, so I'm definitely glad that I grabbed it. And again, the shifts on that shimmer are just gorgeous. I cannot seem to get enough of warm shifts against a cool base. So this one is definitely going to end up on my winter rack for sure. So that was Polished for Days, Once Upon a Dream. And the next polish is a flaky topper. This one is called This Is Halloween. This one came out in the Nightmare Part 2 in 2021, and I was actually really surprised that this was still available. It is a really beautiful, fun topper that combines iridescent flakies, multichrome flakies, and black matte flakies, so it's a really fun mix. I think this one... Willa, what? She just can't stop chattering today. I think half the time she thinks when I'm talking to her. So this I think is a really unique polish to my collection. I really like the addition of the black matte flakies in with those iridescent flakies. So you see greens, golds, purples, pinks. There's a whole lot going on, very glowy and shifty. So this is in just 2 coats. I didn't try to build this one up because it is built as a topper, but I wanted to do at least 2 coats so you could see all of the goodies. This one I think could get you kind of a similar look to the krellys that I really like, just by layering it over another color, because the flakies are a similar size, but you do have the iridescent ones, multichromes, and the black matte ones. So that last one was This Is Halloween. So that was the last polish, but technically there is one more item. I ended up getting one of their soft focus blurring base coats. This one is in Plum Taupe, and this is part of their visible nail line blurring base coat collection. So this is what I'm talking about when I mention a blurring base coat. When you have polishes that are shearer or toppers that you want to try to wear on your own, this gives your nail a layer of opacity to start off with and helps shearer polishes reach opacity faster. Now the neat thing about that is you can also sort of change the color that the polish is going to end up by using a different blurring base coat underneath it or an undie. Now the difference is a blurring base coat is usually something like this that either mimics your skin tone or is a sheer wash of like a white or a pink, whereas an undie is just a matching polish that sort of matches the color that you're trying to make more opaque. So for instance, if you wanted to wear this, I would almost suggest using this one over an undie as opposed to a blurring base coat. So just pick a color that you wanted to wear this over, and just because it's one of the few creams that I have that I think you'd probably want to wear this over on my rack, you could do it over like this one, which is Orly's String of Hearts. And you basically get your opacity from the polish that you're wearing under your topper or shearer polish. So when you wear a blurring base coat, what that does is sort of mimic either your skin tone or something close to it. You're basically trying not to add any more color to your nails. You're just trying to give yourself a boost in opacity. So I thought this one would be a nice one to try. Like I mentioned, it is called Plum Taupe, and they do have quite a number of shades. This is it in just one coat. I thought about doing a second coat, but I figured the likelihood is if you're using this as a blurring base coat, you're just going to do it in one coat. It gets you that nice opacity that you're looking for. And I think this one matches my skin tone a bit better than I thought it would. It is still a bit on the grayish side of things, but it's different than the other colors that I have already. The first one that I got was from Cupcake Polish, and this is their visible nail line blur, which as you can see is a lot more of like a pinky flesh tone. And then I do also have a more yellow leaning one also from Polish for Days, which is their Soft Focus VNL blurring base coat. I think this one might have been their first one that they came out with. So now I have a variety of different ones to use. Depending on the color that I'm putting on top of it will determine which one of these I use. This one, because it is pinker, can change the color of the polish that you're putting on top of it. So like I said, depending on which tone you use, you can change the outcome of how your polish looks, so just keep that in mind, which is why I am happy to have multiple different colors to choose from now. So that last one was Polished for Days Soft Focus Visible Nail Line Blurring Base Coat in Plum Taupe. So there you have it. That was my Black Friday haul from Polished for Days. Let me know down below if you bought from them and if you were lucky enough to get the gift with purchase. As always, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you're new, make sure to hit the little subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of my new videos, and I will see you in that next one.